Okay, if you're new to the channel, here's how the series works. I'll be going up and down the Commonwealth finding new settlements to rebuild. Part 1, I'll be in charge of making sure the settlement is well fortified from the outside world. Part 2 is where you guys come in. I'll be using your comments to influence what I build within inside the walls. If I like your comment and I feel like it'll add value to the rebuild, then I'll shout you guys out in the video. That way, everything I build within the series is as much my work as it is yours. I hope you guys are enjoying the series so far, and if you're new and want to show your support, please feel free to drop a sub, like the video and comment your ideas below. So, the perimeter, defence and entrance is all done, and we now have a blank canvas in Red Rocket to build our settlement. I've selected 3 dedicated subscribers for today's video, whose comments are a perfect example of what I'm looking for within this series. Kazatube wants a trading centre under the Red Rocket where some of the survivors can come and trade their goods in exchange for food, water and maybe even a roof over their head. Endicent is basically sick and tired of my settlers having to relieve themselves in bushes and has demanded that I build a toilet/shower facility for the settlement. Fallout General 99 wants to see a bar/restaurant on top of the Red Rocket, as well as some kind of hotel attached to it. All excellent suggestions, and I think I'm up for the challenge. Let's start with Kazatube. Okay, first things first, we need a solid foundation to build this trading centre on. I've used a mix of metal and wood as I think it gives off the scrappy vibe I'm going for. Now, let's focus on the upstairs bedroom. Need to make sure it's well supported. Let's add a rough outer wall so I can figure out how big I actually want it to be. Add some roofs to hopefully protect us from the rain, and add some more supports. Board up the obvious gaps. Okay, so I think the structure has come together quite well. I always love making my builds look like they've been built by things found on the side of the road. You know, the apocalypse look. Now, let's add 2 shop fronts. Extend the outer walls higher so no one can get in. I'm going to use mostly wire fencing for the bottom and solid materials like wood and metal for the top. It's turned out alright. Let's move on to Endicent's comment. So, I'm going to try and make this as creative as possible, but let's be honest, it's a toilet block. There's not a lot I can do with that. I'm going to use a solid wood foundation, as well as a combination of wood and metal walls to box in the area. Warehouse roofs should give a nice effect from the inside. Now let's add some windows higher up to let the sun in, or rain by the looks of it. Okay, I think the structure's come out good enough. I can decorate this to a high apocalyptic standard for sure. Now let's add a water pump for the shower block, and now let's move on to the farm. Let's start by fencing off the farm, just to show there's a clear divide between the toilet block and the food. Let's section off the farm so we can plant individual foods where we want them. I think that'll be enough food for the settlement of this size. And look, we already have settlers offering their hand to help manage the crops. Last but not least, let's move on to Fallout General 99's suggestion. I've already got a rough idea of how I want this build to look. Whether it turns out anything close to what I'd hoped, that's a different story. Let's start with a solid wooden foundation and piece in all the single gaps. Warehouse walls and a raised foundation to give us a first floor. A combination of broken roofs to show that it's been a long-standing structure. Now let's piece in all that's left over. Okay, gonna be honest, it's a bit more square than I'd hoped for, but overall, I'm happy with it. let's move on to the hotel area. Now, I've had this idea to build the hotel around the actual rocket, like a big spiral. Not gonna lie, it took me over an hour to do this one section, and I ended up deleting it and starting all over again. So here's the sped up version of the correct build. Over an hour for this, yeah, I know. But it gets better, just you wait. So I've added a few extra buildings and walkways just to try and pack out the roof area. I think it's turned out alright, if I'm being honest. I'm going to go off camera now and finish the rest of the settlement and decorate it completely. I would show you the next part of the build, but in post-production I saw I had 4 files adding up to 4 hours and 37 minutes. And if I'm being honest, I can't face editing all that. So I hope you guys enjoy the finished product. See you in the tour. Okay guys, so as you can tell from the last time you saw this build, it's got a lot bigger. A lot bigger. So I'm going to give you a quick run around of the things that I've added. Okay, yeah, so let's go on straight through. Thanks, dog meat. So the first thing you're going to notice is this marketplace directly under the red rocket. This was a comment given to me by Kazatube. Hope I've said that right. And the gist of the comment was they wanted a trading centre under the red rocket, you know, just selling goods to the Wasteland. So I'll give you a quick run around of what I've done. I've tried to make it as scrappy as possible. There's actually 2 settlers currently living there, and I'll show you their bedroom in a minute, but this is just the whole exterior. I think it gives like Diamond City vibes, like really scrappy, just thrown together. So as you come on in, oh, door's already open, great. Nearly. First thing you notice is there is just random stuff everywhere. Obviously they are traders, so they buy and sell things in the Wasteland or just scavenge it along the way. This is where the main trader is, you know, straight in from the settlement entrance. Everyone's walking past, you've got good visibility. Over this side is a armour salesman. He crafts them himself. Bookshelf there of all his things, and this is like the back of it, so people walk past here and trade from this side. This is all their excess, you know, items, things they've saved, not quite listed, maybe need tinkering with, and yeah, before they go up for sale. Now let's go to their ridiculously tiny loft space. So I'm not, oh, he's already asleep, she, whoever that is. So it's really simple, bed, a few items around, a few workshop things here, really straightforward. Next thing I want to show you guys is the residential area. So I've tried to split Red Rocket into like 3 main parts. You've got the right side, the left side, and then the back. And then obviously you've got everything on top, but we'll talk about it in a minute. So as you come in, on the right side is purely residential. This is where everyone lives, whether you're you live in the settlement. If you just want a room for a night, this is where everyone would be staying. So this is the first room. Pretty straightforward, little desk, some storage, someone already sleeping. It's only 2 squares, so there's not a lot you could actually fit in here. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, nice. I imagine you're stuck, but I'm not helping you. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so this is the second room, bit of an artist enthusiast. Yeah, this one's a bit nicer. They've got a little balcony area. But yeah, I've got loads of art. Just quickly, one thing I like to do is, I'm not sure if you can tell, this increases your settler, accommodation space by 3, because I've put 2 beds next to each other, and I've glitched a sleeping bag on top. So in theory, that's 3 spaces right there. And it just looks really good. So that could be one thing. Moving on in here. This is a train car that's been converted into a home. Really simple living, not a lot going on. And the old gas sign phased through. I'm not going to go through every single home because I feel like we'd be here forever, but let's just have a look in this last one. Again, really scrappy, not much going on, just the bare minimum to survive. So there are the 4 I've shown you so far. There is also one in here, one here, and then these mesh doors lead to the watchtowers. So one up there, and this will take you up to the top one up there. There's also another home in here, pretty straightforward as it was before. Now we're going to move on to the back end. Now this is the farmland. This is where the whole settlement gets their food and water from. It's turned out quite nice. You know, I've segregated and tried to section off certain things. You've got mute fruit here, got potato in the back, melons there, and then corn behind the tyres. And then you do have a little water pump back here, but this has a second use, which I'll show you now. And this leads us on to the second comment, which was from TheSynthProject, who has been a long-standing subscriber. He's been in a few of my videos now, constantly commenting, and I'm always ignoring this one suggestion. So their comment was to build an actual toilet and shower block, and he suggested having the shower block near the farm for manure's sake, but yeah, I don't know. But let's see how it turned out. So, got toilets here, only curtains, no doors, nothing too exciting. And then you've got the shower block here. We have dog meat one in a bit. And these are all connected to the water pump, which is right outside. And what I've tried to do is I've added metal flooring, because obviously if the water went onto the wood, it would soak up and probably destroy the shack. But yeah, I think this turned out quite nice. Kind of what I envisioned, so yeah. Now moving on to the left side, obviously if you're coming from the front, this is the market street. So first things first, we do have a dedicated armour shop here. I know there was one at the front, that's quite a small time. This one is dedicated to it. So you have a lot of armour, a lot of clothes, everything's stacked nice and neat. Now the person that runs this shop, I'm assuming they're asleep here. Yep, this is their little bedroom. Not much to it. Okay. Also, I just want to apologise if my frames are coming out awful, because I've put a lot into this build. Scaffolding, we've just got some boxes and things like that. Thank you. Now this one in particular is probably my favourite. This is the gun store. Very well protected. You've got machine guns outside and inside. Some ammo crates you can look through. All the ammo is easy accessible, but the weapons are not, you know, just in case. So we've got some guns and weapons that have been scavenged from the Wasteland. Something pretty cool. The bat's probably my favourite. Reminds me of Negan from The Walking Dead. Got a flamer, got some ammo crates, and this is the shop. Very, very well stocked. Obviously they've had a very good year trading. And just like the armour shop, this is where the gun salesman would sleep, with some nice paintings. Okay, so we've done the front. we've done the sides, we've done the back. Now let's move on to the inside. So as you come on here, this is just a nice seating / bar area. I wanted to make it as cozy as possible. You know, it's under a pretty nice shelter, so it wouldn't ever get rained on or anything like that. Just a nice chill area for where the settlers can come and order their food or their drinks. So for example, this would be the restaurant area. You know, you come and get your food, you can get your medicine, anything you need. I mean, this whole settlement is a trading zone, so even though you probably pay with it with caps, you know, you could probably buy your dinner with something you scavenged on the road. I wanted to try to turn this into like a mini supermarket. So this is like the pantry of the settlement. Got loads of items, things you can buy, scavenge, things like that down here. Then obviously once you're done with that, you'd come up to here and make your purchase. Get out of the way, dog. Make your purchase here. And yeah, this is maybe where some of the more high ticket items are stored. Yeah, just a lot of heavy duty ammo and things like that. Nice little workstation there. So as we move on, I'm just going to show you the main part now, which is the roof. And I've been thinking about how I wanted to build getting up to there, because I wanted to do it at the back, but there wasn't enough space. I wanted to do it from one of the watchtowers, but then it wasn't practical. So I've decided to just build up from this side, right in front of the entrance, and I'll show you. Now, the inspiration for this build was commented by someone called Fallout General 99. So appreciate your comment, General. And his or her comment was basically to build a bar / hotel, so like a bar and restaurant and a hotel on top of the Red Rocket. And I think I went a bit above and beyond. Hopefully this is what you meant. If you like it, let me know. If you want me to make some changes, also let me know. So on the left, up and around the rocket, is the hotel area. And then to the right is the restaurant / bar area. So we'll start with this place. Coming in here. Try to make it as, you know, lure friendly as possible. Try to make it quite bar-like. Paintings everywhere, some seating. Yeah, I don't know if I can get through. I have to hop it. So yeah, this is the bar area. This is where you'd come, you know, at the end of your shift, if you just want to come for a drink. This is where people would come and cook for you. Again, you can trade, pay caps, whatever you need. And now I'll move on to the restauranty area. So up here, I've split it into two. You've got one side here, one side here, and then this is the entrance to the watchtower. A very nice view of the Commonwealth, pretty well protected. Now this is the VIP booth or table where you can eat on top. Very nice views, open sky. Obviously you have to be careful depending on the weather, but yeah, very nice view of the settlement. Very nice location. So as we move on to the last and final section, which is the hotel, I was struggling to make it look realistic, if that makes sense. I could have added 4 more buildings, but it just wouldn't have looked structurally correct. So I tried to make all my builds look as realistic as possible. So this is just a storage / power area. So there's a little generator here. Not sure if you've noticed, but I do have wind turbines sort of scattered around, and that's where we get the majority of the electricity to the settlement. But yeah, let's go on to the hotel area. crates leading up. It's still under construction. There's a few places here that haven't been fully renovated, like this one. It's missing a door and just pretty much everything. But eventually this will turn into a very nice hotel room, a very nice view. Going up to the next level, everything's really like rickety and handmade, doesn't look super safe. But if you choose to rent this place, that's your call. And this is the penthouse. Nice little desk. Obviously you do have the big rocket dead center of your living space, so you kind of have to make do with that. Storage over here, little sofa, some clothes and food, and then your sleeping quarters, which is there. Pretty tight, but you can walk around the rocket 360, so yeah, worked quite well. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that is everything. I think in my last video I showed you guys the watchtowers. I haven't really added any more to them, so if you are interested in seeing what the watchtowers look like, go back to my last video. And yeah, let me go out to the front. Okay guys, so as you can see from this point of view, this was a build. This took me a very long time, probably about 2 or 3 days worth of graft. I had to build it in 3 sections because it took so long. But really hope you guys enjoyed the build process. Yeah, I've been really appreciating the support and all the comments you guys have been leaving me. Just one thing I need you guys to remember is if you want to be featured in this series, you've got to be a subscriber. But apart from that, guys, I'm really enjoying the comments you guys are giving me. Some of the comments have been absolutely brilliant. Anyway, guys, thank you everyone who's left their comments, showed support so far, and I'm going to leave a little poll in the comments below and you can tell me where you want me to build next. Anyway, guys, appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you in the next one.